Hi there, Karen Stever here with Gryner at thepublicrecord.com. We've been hosting Stever's Public Playground Project. This is a community effort to help us build a song from the ground up for charity. So it's amazing to see all these different spirits come together in the spirit of charity and working together and bringing your talents and your insight and your love and your encouragement to further this project along. It's a really exciting time. We started off doing, for those of you tuning in, we started off doing vocals and lyrics, and we moved on to doing drums and guitars, and we just finished up the bass phase. And this is our very last week where we are asking everybody for the extra contributions to finish off this song so that we can begin the mixing of it next week. See, until Sunday at midnight.
Let me add it.
Frank's raring to dig in. This is really something you are extraordinarily good at, and I know you're really excited to get mixing. So get all your parts in by Sunday at midnight. This includes your guitar solos and vocals and keyboards and just anything you got, noises around the house. We've even had guinea pigs and crickets. So it's just like, you know, anything you got to submit it's going to be a funny farm for sure here at TPR. So I want to talk in the spirit of charity and community. I want to talk about what we're going to be doing to artistically and visually represent this whole process to people who have never seen it before. And I asked you guys just for some ideas, and Jason Nations and Tweak were talking about different ways that they could videotape themselves. Jason Nations was saying maybe we could all tape ourselves on a local playground or something to that effect, take their instruments there. He said maybe just have that feeling of looking at the playground as though we have a right to be here. So I'm starting to see some ideas, certainly in the forums and in the comments below the videos, of people who are starting to think about how this could be visually represented. I'm more interested in how do I bully everybody into sending video of themselves in. So if you got any ideas how to actually talk people into that?
Hey, what are we just asking nicely? Start there.
Begging? Could go move on to begging?
If need be, we can, but we'll ask.
Well, ask nicely?
Ask nicely.
First lesson. Okay.
Please, maybe. Could go a long way.
I haven't used please, that's what the problem is here. I want to talk about Big Monkey's submission, everybody. Like, we haven't been talking about it.
I know.
Teddy Roosevelt's speech that I requested from you guys. Big Monkey apparently...
He got the Ouija board out or something and channeled the spirit of dead Teddy Roosevelt.
Or went back
and figured out a way to record it.
Yeah, with reverb. It's just awesome. I just love the submission so much. Got me really excited about it. So that's awesome. And I look forward to all of the submissions that are going to be coming in before Sunday night. And Joanny, you ripped a really mean guitar solo. I was glad to hear that from you. I saw your picture with all your guitars there. I'm like, oh yeah, Joanny's guitars come. So he
good tone.
Yeah, really ugly and nasty. Yeah. It was very good in a good way. And Tweak is continuing to send in all his guitar noises. It's really interesting to watch Tweak grow. You know, it's because even though you guys didn't see me on camera, I have been here since way before TPR started, and watching you guys like a little lurker in the back. And it's really interesting to see Tweak grow. And also people like Cody and Evan, who are really young guys on the site here. Really exciting time to see young guys melding with the people who have a lot of experience, and that's really awesome. That reminds me that how much I want to thank you guys for sharing your experience with these young people, because that is the future of our industry. That is the future of music. And it's really amazing how you guys are mentoring and sharing your horror stories on the road, and just all your experience with, you know, putting your own pickups and guitars and just everything that you're sharing with these young guys. And in turn, they have this new outlook on the music industry where they're genuinely excited. If you watch somebody like Cody's video where he takes you on a tour around a studio, he's really genuinely excited about music. And
I'd be excited too with all those guitars. That's awesome.
But they have a genuine excitement that I think they are bringing to the community, and it's a good meld of that industry experience with the new excitement of where music is headed. I think it's making for a really great website here and a good community. So thank you for doing that. Now, Frank, I want to talk to you about the music business. It has become really problematic, as we've seen, for a lot of musicians to try to get their music out there and get their music heard, and what approach they should be taking. And you have been at this now. You've been living in LA for 17 years, but you were at music far longer before you ever came here. And I just think for somebody like you who has come like 3,000 miles from your home, set up here where you had to work free for a long time, you had to do all those things, it's a different climate now, isn't it? Where you have to extend a different advice to people now.
Yeah.
What would you say to
I
these
kind of
people?
feel like we're in the little escape pod, leaving the Death Star before it explodes.
Best music industry analogy I've heard to date.
And we can't be so concerned about what was back there,
right.
because
and how we used to do things.
Quite honestly, there's nothing for us back there.
Right.
I don't feel there is. I mean, I think I always say, people always ask me about the music business. I'm kind of maybe even like one of those people who,
you're like, what's that?
I'm like the small dog who grew up with like Great Danes, and they just think they're a Great Dane. Maybe I think we're not part of it. We're not technical. I don't feel like I'm part of the industry.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Thankfully.
I feel like, especially with what we're building here with TPR, that we're in our own world that we're creating, and it's one that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in
so do you
more
think
and more
it's really
as we
important
go.
for people to ignore that old model altogether and how things work?
Yeah, it's like you can be fixated on something, and it could, and we could really miss the boat on what's going on here. That's really good. And one of the agendas that I've had, and especially what Scott had outlined with this whole concept, was that there's not an industry to really, the industry is dying, so what can we do? And this is his effort to come up with a solution.
Right.
And as much as we do and continue to have ties with the industry and try to pull in opportunities for everybody from that industry, and our hope is to really define a place that kind of works independently of that,
right,
where all our needs can be met. And I hope that that's what's where we're headed, because I feel like there's some progress.
And talk a little bit about this. And I always love your explanation with this. Talk a little bit about a person's approach as an individual versus a person's approach within a community, and the value of what you're seeing with this community.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I've never really considered myself a community guy. I've always
You're a bit of a loner.
been reclusive.
We did get him on camera, though, as promised in the beginning.
Yeah, look what happened. Every day, usually twice a day. But I think what I've seen and what I've learned. I mean, we talk about what we try to bring and share with you guys. I mean, I think what you guys have shared with me, in addition to a lot of really cool things, even just with the submissions, is just the spirit of everybody coming together. And I see that on the site, where we've kind of put ourselves aside for a second and put the community forward, and it's really refreshing, because I think we live mostly in a society of people who are looking out for themselves. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we have something special here, and it's going to work. It's going to work within the context of music, because I think that's what music was originally. It was never meant to be something that you didn't share, and then suddenly everybody is trying to figure out how to stake their claim, and this is mine, and this is my publishing, this is my, everybody comes in, seems to be born into the music industry with, don't steal my publishing, that's mine, that kind of mentality is, I mean, of course you got to be careful that people don't take advantage of your talents.
Right.
Because historically, there's people out there that will exploit those.
It's funny you talking about the publishing thing, and with John Lennon's birthday and anniversary and stuff coming up this fall and into the end of the year. He had a quote where he said, music is everybody's possession, it's only the publishers who think they own it. And it's funny how, how many years it's been since his death, and that we're coming back around. So it's kind of a cool time in music history when we see the words of John Lennon from many, many years ago ringing pretty true. It is everybody's possession, music, and that's what we're really trying to do here at TPR, is just get back to the love of music. So get your submissions in by Sunday night so we can wrap up this phase of the project and get on to mixing. But I really still want to continue to get your ideas on the visual portion of this project. I'm really excited to see how this is visually going to come together. I'm hoping that it's something, like I've been getting some ideas from people that have been very movie-esque, like this screenplay kind of things. I want to have something that's realistic that each person can do from their home with their own crappy webcam or video camera, whatever you guys got going on there, that you can be represented in this video and people can know that you are a part of this project when we put it out into the world, and people who don't know anything about the public record can see how this whole project came together. So let's bang some heads, both rock-wise and brainstorming, and come up with a solution to representing this visually. All right, so we will tune in with you guys tomorrow, and until next time, rock on.